The season finale of Mobland Episode 10 is a masterpiece of climatic revelations that will keep you at the edge of your seat and make you clench your fists in spontaneous reaction to the scenes as they come at you. The episode opens with Kevin in an emotional monologue as he stares at the dead former copper he just killed. And in the midst of his passionate rant, we learn about his state of mind. He reveals that Maeve, who he describes as a shark, was instrumental in screwing up Eddy, who is actually Conrad's son, and that he had always known his wife, Bella, was with Conrad, but chose to ignore it. Harry comes in with a cleaning crew and helps with the body. The lyrics of the Mobland Episode 10 ominous-sounding soundtrack titled The Beast in Me, which plays continuously in the background, is an apt representation of everything that happens in this blood-soaked episode. Next, Harry has an interesting sit-down with the rat, who happens to be Ohara, and the conversation is more or less a life-and-death Q&A that is as ominous as it is revealing. To her surprise, Harry lets her go and promises to be in touch. Kevin, after a conversation on allegiance with Harry, visits Conrad in prison, but this time things play out differently. He mans up and tells Conrad about the many shortcomings of his mob reign, vowing to make the Harrigan name mean something good again, but that in the new order, people would pay for everything. Maeve messages Eddy to come visit her in prison, and he slinks away where she tells him in an Oscar-worthy revelation that he is Conrad's son, not Kevin's. She then tells him it's a play for the top spot and he would need to kill Harry, and then Seraphina. McAllister makes a play for Seraphina, describing the situation she is in as less than ideal and then securing a launch date for them to talk further about their collective futures. Tattersall, ever the scheming type, has a meet-up with Alice after her part in helping to apprehend the Harrigans and planting their DNA as evidence in a murder case, and he pays her £100,000 for her troubles and steps away only for two hooligans to do away with her. Harry then uses Ohara in a classic case of misdirection to split Richie's forces. Ohara, pretending to be in bed with Richie, gets him to send a team to apprehend Harry and his men at her office where she said they would be, and another team to the safe house where the rest of the Harrigan clan, including Harry's own family, were hidden. It was an unexpected three-way massacre, where the first team were torn to shreds in a bomb set by Paul, and the second team, who went to the safe house, met much the same fate, where they were torn down by Harry's two favorite gunmen. The third massacre was carried out by Harry himself, accompanied by Kevin. They met Richie at the Old Monkey, where he tried to use Ohara as a shield, but they shot both the rat and the rat handler on sight. In prison, Conrad and Maeve get the news that Richie was dead, and Maeve quickly insists that her moves have been a test all the while. Harry meets with McAllister, who makes her play, insisting that Harry do away with the Harrigans based on the favor she owes him. Harry refuses, even when Kat insists that it would make them enemies when she makes her move on the Harrigans. Kevin confronts Bella and asks if she would side with him when push come to shove. They exchange stories and settle. Harry informs Jan that Richie is dead, and she loses it, and while screaming at Harry, stabs him in the chest in anger. The final scene of Episode 10 shows Conrad as he walks down the prison stairway celebrated by his fellow prisoners on his winning the mob war.